Am I in the air?
He has risen, baby girl. What is going down, everybody? Welcome back to another brand new edition of Am I on the Air? My name is DONMEGA, and I'm your host. I'm so happy that you're here to join me once again to get caught up with all the latest and the greatest when it comes to entertainment news, in television, in movies, non-spoiler reviews. We break it all down here on a week-by-week basis. It's season 28, episode 29, and tonight's show is titled Educated Wish. We have a movie review to talk about. It might be a little movie you might have heard of called Deadpool and Wolverine. You know, it's only the number one movie in the entire world, biggest movie of 2024. You know how it goes. We're going to non-spoiler talk about that one. Got a new documentary to talk about. And then, of course, we're going to get into the news of the week. Comic-Con just happened over the weekend, so there's a lot of stuff to get to, some big breaking news. We have a Doctor Doom in the MCU. Yes, we're going to talk about it. So strap on in and let's get her going. Like I said, we're going to kick things off with a non-spoiler. Believe me, I'm not going to spoil this for you guys. Movie's only been out for a couple days, and I know a lot of you still haven't got a chance to see it. And I know how picky everybody is about spoilers, especially about this movie, even though the internet is spoiling the shit out of it. I mean, I can't go on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram without seeing videos, audio, pictures of all the spoilers in this movie. But hey, DONMEGA's not going to do that to you. So we're going to non-spoiler talk about it. Deadpool and Wolverine, the latest movie in the MCU. Yes, the MCU. Can you believe it? The one property coming over from the Fox universe and getting its shine in the MCU. Deadpool, the only character that they want to bring over into the MCU. Maybe Wolverine is there with them. And guys, this was my most anticipated film of the year. I can't tell you how giddy I was to finally get to the theater this past Thursday, see it on the preview night, see it in IMAX, and how much I was just ready to get into it. And I was hoping that it lived up to even a quarter of my expectations. And I'm here to tell you, it blew away every expectation I could have had. This movie is my first 5 out of 5 stars of the year. That's correct. It is a 5 out of 5. It is the first movie of the year that I have given the illustrious 5 out of 5 stars to. I have also seen this movie 3 times already. Yes, 3 times in just the first 3 days it was out. I saw this movie, and I'll probably see it a 4th time. It gets better and better every single time. The jokes all land. The action is incredible. The heart is there. Deadpool has never been better. Wolverine has never been better. There's so much going for this movie, man. It is a joygasm. I remember watching this movie the first time with just an ear-to-ear smile on my face of just like, wow, I can't believe what I'm watching right now. And then something else would happen, and I was just giddy. And the next action sequence happens, and I was giddy. And another action sequence happens, and I'm giddy. And the cameos happen, and I'm giddy. And I just, when I walked out, I could not believe how much I enjoyed this movie. So this movie here is about a listless Wade Wilson who tolls away in civilian life with his days of the morally flexible mercenary Deadpool behind him. But when his homeworld faces an existential threat, Wade must reluctantly suit up again with an even more reluctant Wolverine. That's what I'm going to leave. I'm not even going to begin to tiptoe around this story because I don't want to give anything away. Here's what I'm going to say. And I've already said a lot, because what else can I say other than me being giddy about this film? But it really does deliver the humor. The opening sequence of this film is by far one of the best opening sequences I have ever seen for any film. This is just the opening title sequence. It is incredible. Love it so much. The action scenes, all incredible. People were worried that this movie was going to be a cameo fest and it was just going to kind of get stupid. Every cameo that happens in this movie happens for a reason, and the characters play a part in the movie. And that's pretty damn awesome. The cameos are not here to just be like, oh, look, it's me, I'm back, and then they're gone. Everybody plays a role, and that was pretty damn awesome with this. Ryan Reynolds, the best he's ever been as Deadpool. Hugh Jackman, the best he's ever been at Logan, Wolverine. So good to see him back, by the way. I love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine and was very saddened when he kind of hung up the claws at the end of Logan, but glad to see if he was going to come back for anything that it was this movie. Because it's perfect. Their dynamic is perfect. Their chemistry is perfect. These guys are best friends in real life, and that shines through on the big screen. Um, the story was fun. I laughed my ass off. The violence was great. The jokes were amazing. I can't believe it. Some of the stuff that Disney let them say. It's just so good, guys. All I can say in a non-spoiler way, and there's so much more I want to talk about, but keep it a non-spoiler. All I'm going to say is if you haven't seen it yet, go see it. 3 times, guys, I've seen this movie, and I'll tell you, this might be unpopular, but after watching it the first time, I decided I wanted to take my daughter to see this movie. My daughter's 10, she'll be 11 in a couple months. She has never watched an R-rated movie before. So this was me breaking her into an R-rated film. And when I got home from watching the movie the first night, the first thing she said to me was, "Can I watch this movie?" And I wasn't sure yet. I'll tell you, my wife was actually against it. She was like, "No, no, no, don't do it." I felt it was fine for her. My biggest thing for an R-rated movie for my daughter being the age she is nudity. It's sexual stuff, right? She can handle the cussing, she can handle the violence. I felt like a lot of the adult jokes that happened for a kid her age probably went right over her head. She didn't know what the hell they were talking about. So I felt okay with it, right? So I did on my second viewing, it was just me and my daughter. We had a daddy daughter day. We went to the movie theater. We watched it in 3D and my daughter loved it so much. And it was her idea to go see it the third time. She was like, "Can we please go see it again?" And we went the third time and actually watched it in a format called D-Box. I know a lot of people are very familiar with like 4DX. It's like a 4DX. It's not as like inclusive as a 4DX. Like 4DX kind of has like the seats rock, but then they also um there's mist and there's, different smells. There's different things that kind of immerse you into the movie. Whereas a D-Box seat just pretty much rattles, it moves, it jiggles around. It only really did stuff during the action sequences, and it was kind of cool, but it really wasn't worth the money. It was very expensive to do, but my daughter really wanted to see the movie in D-Box. So we went and did that on our third viewing, and she is already bugging me to go a fourth time. She loved it so much, said it's one of her favorite movies ever. She's so stoked that she got to see an R-rated movie. She's talking about possibly being Deadpool for for Halloween. I'm just, eh, uh, you know, I'm proud, man. One of my fondest memories is my dad taking me to my first rated R movie when I was very little. I think I was 9 when I saw he took me to see RoboCop, and it stuck with me, man. When people say, can you remember your first rated R movie? I sure can. It was RoboCop, and I want her to have that same thing, right? Down the road, what was your first rated R movie? I saw Deadpool and Wolverine. And I just love that she had a blast with it. I love that she just was giddy about it. She really had no earlier connection to Wolverine. She's a big MCU fan, but she hasn't watched any of the X-Men movies and really didn't know much about Logan. She knew a little bit about Deadpool. Me and her watched the PG-13 cut of Deadpool 2, the Once Upon a Deadpool that came out a couple years ago. So she's seen that, but she hasn't seen him in all his R-rated glory. And I just had a great time with her doing it. And we just bought our best friend shirts, so we have matching shirts with the logos on it. And I'm sure we'll go see it again together and have a blast with it. So, seen it 3 times. It's amazing. Like I said, it's a 5 out of 5. I'm gonna stop gushing about it because I got other stuff to talk about. But guys, if you haven't seen it, Again, I implore you, go check out the coolest movie of the year. This movie has already made $500 million. We're going to talk box office here shortly, but it has blown away all expectations, especially for an R-rated movie. Unheard of figures here. And like I said, we'll circle back to that here in a second when we talk box office. All right, that's what I got on the movie side. Over on the TV side, the only new thing I checked out over the weekend was the new documentary that dropped on Netflix called Dirty Pop. And this is the true story about Lou Pearlman. He was the guy that founded the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, and he did a bunch of boy bands and girl bands. But behind it all, the guy was a scammer. You wonder where he got all his money from? This documentary will shine some light on that. It's a 3-part series. I found it very, very interesting. So if you'd like to check out something, man, check out Dirty Pop, now streaming over on Netflix. Now, going on over to the box office, let's get into it. Coming in number 10, it's Rayon. Number 9, Fly Me to the Moon. Number 8, The Fabulous Four. Number 7, Bad Boys Ride or Die, which is now available on VOD. Number 6, A Quiet Place Day 1, which is now available as of today on VOD. Number 5, Long Legs. Number 4, Inside Out 2. Number 3, Despicable Me 4. Number 2, Twisters. And number 1, I told you guys, Deadpool and Wolverine. Now check this out. Going into the weekend, Deadpool and Wolverine was expected to make between like 150 to like 175 mil, which would have been amazing. The previous R-rated opening was Deadpool, the original Deadpool, which was like 133 million. That's the highest R-rated debut ever. So if this movie made anywhere between 150, 175, it would set the record. The preview night, which is what I went to the first time on the Thursday night, it made like 30 something $1 million, which was incredible for a Thursday night preview night. You never see numbers like that anymore. And then on Friday, its first full day, it made $96 million. And that's when expectations were like, oh shit, this thing's probably going to hit 200 mil. So the weekend starts to wrap up, and the projections for the weekend had it landing at 206 million, which was, oh my god, incredible. So incredible. 206 mil. Fantastic. Well, Monday, when the final numbers are tallied, 9 times out of 10, they're pretty spot on with the projections. No, it did even more. It made $211 million. That's right, 211. Once again, the biggest R-rated opening of all time, the 6th biggest opening ever for a movie, just period. Biggest R-rated movie, biggest just July opening of all time. It broke a bunch of different records. I mean, this movie made 211 million in 3 days, which is more than Twisters has made in its lifetime. Almost as much as Despicable Me 4 in its lifetime, more than Quiet Place, more than Bad Boys, all in their full theatrical runs in just 3 days. It's incredible, man. And it made another 200 something million internationally. So the movie has already made like 450 million worldwide. It is already at $500 million. This thing could hit $1 billion by this weekend, man. I can't wait to see where the box office takes us at the end of this road. So hella amazing debut for Deadpool and Wolverine. All right, guys, let's get into our news of the week. Terrifier 3. It's got an official release date. It's going to hit theaters on October 11th, and we have our first teaser poster for it, and it's pretty gruesome in Terrifier style. We love that. We have the brand new trailer for Transformers 1. Again, this hits theaters on September 20th. I love this new trailer. This was a movie that I really thought, this is stupid when I first heard about it. And I have loved these trailers. And the early buzz this movie is getting is that it's really, really good. So I can't wait to see Transformers 1. So check out the new trailer. Rebecca Ferguson is joining Cillian Murphy in the Peaky Blinders movie, which is awesome. Amazon has claimed that season 4 of The Boys has passed 55 million views, which is pretty damn awesome. The Boys, once again, an amazing show that everyone should be watching. The Kardashians has been renewed for 20 more episodes over at Hulu. We have the brand new pricing for the new bundle. Have you guys signed up for this yet? I'm going to be switching to this for sure. Disney Plus, Max, and Hulu. A bundle of all three has launched. If you want it with ads, it's only like $16.99, and if you want it without ads, it's just $30, man. $29 to get all three with no ads. That is incredible, dude. That's a $10 subscription to each of these, which is fantastic. So you should get this bundle, man, with the quickness faux show. The morning show is expanding its sports desk. William Jackson Harper, I love this guy. He's so good. From The Good Place, he is joining the Apple TV Plus series, of course, with Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon. So good to see him landing on this show. Paul Feig is set to room with Jason Blum. The duo is teaming for a feature adaptation of the Netflix unscripted series Worst Roommate Ever. That's going to be coming to Blumhouse. This is a new show that's actually just started streaming on Netflix. I don't know how they're going to adapt it, but Blumhouse, Paul Feig, color me interested for sure. Tessa Thompson is set to star in and executive produce a new thriller that's going to be coming to Netflix. Pixar's Inside Out 2 has iced out fellow Disney release Frozen 2 to become the top grossing Hollywood animated film of all time at the worldwide box office. So lots of records being broken this summer. Inside Out 2 becomes the top animated film of all time globally. Congratulations. We have the new trailer for A Complete Unknown, which is the Bob Dylan biopic that's coming out with Timothy Chalamet playing Bob Dylan, directed by James Mangold. So check out the first teaser trailer for that. We have the trailer for Bad Monkey, which is a new Apple TV Plus mystery that's coming out with Vince Vaughn. I love this trailer, man. I think, once again, I'm going to say Apple TV Plus seems to always knock it out the park. Although, this takes me back. I didn't review it at the beginning of the show because I actually didn't even bother to make any notes on it. But I did try the new Time Bandit show that just came out on Apple TV Plus. Um, and I did not like it. I didn't like it. I didn't even make it through the first episode. So that's one that Apple TV Plus is a rare miss, but they were a miss for me on Time Bandits. So couldn't do it. Tried to make it a new family show for us all to watch. I didn't like it. My wife didn't like it, and my daughter didn't like it. So we shut it off about halfway through the first episode. So kind of a bummer because Apple TV Plus is so damn good, but that one didn't click. But Bad Monkey looks really, really good with Vince Vaughn. So I'm excited to check this one out when it comes out. We have the teaser trailer for Teacup, which is Peacock's new James Wan horror series that's going to be coming out on October 10th. We have the trailer for I'll Be Right There, which is Edie Falco's new dramedy that's going to hit theaters on September 6th. Miranda Cosgrove has been cast in a new Netflix rom-com called The Wrong Paris. City of God, The Fight Rages On. We have the trailer for the upcoming sequel show. We also have the trailer for Jeff Goldblum's new dark comedy series Chaos, which is coming soon over on Netflix. Um, we have your first look at the cast of Fantastic Four. They posted their first group picture together. It's not like in costume or anything, it's just kind of hanging out. And then, of course, they were at Comic-Con over the weekend, so it was cool to see them come out, talk about the movie. I'm excited for Fantastic Four. I think it's a great cast and can't wait to see what they do there. They just started filming today, so congratulations. We'll see if it actually can stick to that July release date. It's going to be difficult, man. What's funny, I've talked about it before in this show, about how the Superman movie that James Gunn is doing comes out 2 weeks before Fantastic Four, and James Gunn just wrapped filming on Superman today as Fantastic Four was on day one of filming. So how is a movie that comes out literally 2 weeks after Superman just started filming today? I don't know how it sticks that landing, but supposedly they're doubling down on that date, so we'll see if they can do it. Azrael, that's a new movie coming out with Samara Weaving. It's a new horror flick. It's going to hit theaters on September 27th. The Agency has added Jodie Turner-Smith and Catherine Watterson to the Showtime drama. A24 reveals a new horror movie starring Kyle MacLachlan and January Jones called Alter. We have the new Speak No Evil trailer with James McAvoy here. And the early buzz on this one, too, is one of the best movies of the year. Super creepy, just a really good movie. Like, not even just a good horror flick, but a very solid movie in general. So that just hyped me up even more for this one. I'm excited for Speak No Evil. The Blair Witch Project producers announced a new Blu-ray is coming, which will show the complete movie for the first time. Stephen King movie adaptation of The Long Walk is going to be directed by Hunger Games Francis Lawrence. So they're going to be adapting that book there. The Boy and the Heron is coming to Max, and it's going to start streaming on September 6th. Chris Hemsworth is set to star in a new Apple sci-fi mystery movie called The Corsair Code. Rebel Ridge is going to be coming out soon. It's Netflix's new thriller starring Aaron Pierre, and that's going to hit on September 6th. Industry Season 3 trailer has dropped for HBO's drama. This is the return here with Kit Harington. Borderlands dropped their new trailer for the Eli Roth video game adaptation, which comes out here in a couple weeks, so keep your eyes out for that. I'm excited. I know not a lot of people are talking about Borderlands, but I'm hoping it's good, man. I'm hoping. Skibbity toilet movie. That's right. This is not a joke, man. The weird phrase that all the kids are saying somehow is being developed into a TV series. And with Michael Bay, Michael, I love you, but what is the draw to Skibbity Toilet? I do not know, but supposedly a television series is being developed by Michael Bay of Skibbity Toilet. So there you go. Uh let's see here. Oh my god, that news is just I'm like, is it April Fools? What are we doing here? Chaos, we just talked about with Jeff Goldblum. I think it looks pretty cool, actually, with all the gods kind of fighting. It's going to be hitting Netflix on August 29th. So there you go. Let's see here. We have your first trailer for Creature Commandos. That's right, the animated series that kind of kicks off the new DC Studios universe that James Gunn is doing. It's an animated series that's coming to Max in December. And basically think about it as Suicide Squad with monsters. That's exactly what this is. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I'm just not a big fan of animation, so this doesn't super wow me. And I'm just like, and we've seen Suicide Squad already, so I don't know if I need more of something like this, but I'll probably give it a shot since we're kind of getting the introduction here to this new DC universe. Because remember, the people in the animation can bleed into live action with the same people that are voicing. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. James Gunn also debuted the new DC Studios logo, which looks pretty cool. It's very old school. Looks like the old school comics logo, which is awesome. So keep that going. Invincible season 4 is officially on the way. The show has been greenlit for another season. In a big shocker from Comic Con, man, Dexter is back. That's right. Michael C. Hall will return as the serial killer to lead a new series called Dexter Resurrection. Yes, guys, I know he died, or we thought he died in the last series. So, how is this happening? I don't know, and I don't care because I love Dexter and I think this is badass. So, bring him back and let's do some Dexter Resurrection, baby. I am here for it. That's going to come out next summer in 2025. They're going to start filming that in January. But what they have already been filming, and it's going to actually come out in just a couple months, is the Dexter prequel series, Dexter Original Sin, and Michael C. Hall is also going to return to narrate Dexter's inner voice, which I love because I was already stoked for this prequel series, and now knowing that Michael C. Hall is going to actually voice Dexter in his head of what he did during these kills and during the stuff is awesome. So this show is going to debut this year, I believe in December. So get ready, man. Paramount Plus with Showtime. We're getting some Dexter in just a couple months, and then we'll get more Dexter next summer. So I love it. The Dexter universe is strong. Here's what's going on next for the Boys universe. The Boys season 5 final season supposedly is coming in 2026. It'll have 8 episodes, and they're currently writing it. Gen V season 2 is wrapping up filming. It's going to come in 2025. They announced a new spin-off series called The Boys Vault Rising. It's going to star Jensen Ackles and Aya Cash. It's going to be a prequel set in the 1950s, and they're developing The Boys Mexico. Diego Luna and Gal Garcia Bernal are producing the show. The pilot hasn't been written yet. They're still kind of working out the details. So a couple spin-offs in the works, Gen V season 2, and of course the Boys final season 5. I just can't believe they're going to make us wait to 2026 for season 5, man. That is too long. Doesn't make me happy, but love that we'll begin some other stuff in the universe. Alrighty. Let's see here. Actually, this is a shout out for myself. I put out a tweet about my kind of social media review for Deadpool and Wolverine, and Marvel Studios liked my tweet and reposted it on the Marvel Studios Twitter page, along with director Sean Levy. He also liked my tweet and reposted it, which was pretty damn awesome. So cool to see some love there from Marvel and Sean because I really do appreciate that movie. And yeah, let's fucking go. Very, very cool. Life After Beth, or Life and Beth, I should say. Sorry, Life and Beth, with Amy Schumer has been canceled after 2 seasons. I watched this show. It's on Hulu. Pretty good show overall, but I'm not heartbroken that it's not going to come back. I think it ran its course. Daryl Dixon has been renewed for season 3, and they're going to move to Spain for season 3. That's going to be interesting. Solar Opposites is renewed for season 6 over at Hulu. Invincible, Has Been Hotel, and Sausage Party Foodtopia have all been renewed over at Amazon Prime. A Doctor Who spinoff is officially happening over at Disney and the BBC. Krapopolis gets an early season 4 renewal over at Fox. Elizabeth Olsen, Natasha Lyonne, and Carrie Coon assist an ailing dad in Netflix's His Three Daughters. The new trailer has dropped for that. Great cast. In a Violent Nature 2 is in pre-production, so yes, that movie is getting a sequel, which is very interesting because I didn't hear that much great stuff about it, but hey, there you go. From season 3 is coming soon. They've set the premiere date. It comes back on September 22nd, so get ready for season 3 of that. We have the Solar Opposites season 5 trailer, so check that out. The Fall Guy is coming to Peacock on August 30th. So if you haven't seen Fall Guy yet, check it out August 30th, streaming on Peacock. The Day of the Jackal has also landed a Peacock release date. Eddie Redmayne stars as the high-end hitman, and it's going to be hitting Peacock on November 7th. Gremlins, The Wild Batch is added Simu Liu, and that's going to be hitting Max on October 3rd. Clone High revival has been canceled at Max after just 2 seasons. American Rust has been canceled again after it was rescued by Amazon Prime. Rings of Power Season 2 trailer has dropped. Star Trek Starfleet Academy has added Bob Hart Abishola's Gina Yashir to the cast. Tracker and The Equalizer are getting earlier premiere dates over at CBS. We have the first trailer for season 2 of Found. And the escaped Sir taunts Gabby, I warned you not to end us. I love Found. I thought it was a great new show that came out last season. Mark Paul Gosselaar, I hope he gets to do more in the second season. I'm very excited about it. And that's going to be coming back to NBC really, really soon. So check out that trailer. Chicago Fire, Dermot Mulroney has joined the cast for season 13 as the new chief. We have, let's see here, NBA has signed new TV rights deal with NBC, Disney, and Amazon, ending their decades-long TNT partnership. Cocaine Bear 2 is reportedly in development, with Elizabeth Banks looking at coming back to direct the film. The BioShock video game movie is moving ahead with a lower budget. A Scare Tactics reboot is coming to the USA Network from Jordan Peele, so that's going to be pretty awesome there. We got a nice article up with a deep dive into every cameo and Easter egg for Deadpool and Wolverine for any of you looking to dig in more. Let's see here. I'm going to skip some other Deadpool and Wolverine stuff we already talked about. We have the sneak peek at Superman versus Doomsday from the final season of Superman and Lois, which premieres October 17th. This was shown at Comic-Con, and then they released it online afterwards, so check that out. Silo Season 2 is hitting November 15th on Apple TV+. So I'm excited. I love Silo Season 1. So November 15th, we'll get Season 2. Came a lot quicker than I thought it would. Steve Zahn also joining the cast for Season 2. Disney's Marvel Cinematic Universe has also become the first film franchise in history to cross the $30 billion mark at the global box office. So yeah, you add up all those movies together, you got $30 billion. That is insane right there. Okay, man, the big news coming out of Comic-Con that we got to get to. Marvel had a panel. Marvel has skipped out on Comic-Con for the last couple years, but they had a panel in Hall H this year, and Kevin Feige said, we're going to talk about 3 films that are coming up. They talked about Captain America, Brave New World, showed some footage, some Red Hulk, pretty cool, man. Then they talk about the Thunderbolts, right? This is kind of the Suicide Squad of the MCU. Pretty cool there. We get Yelena back, and that's pretty awesome right there. Pretty fun little panel. And then we talk Fantastic Four, right? We bring out the whole cast: Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, Eben Moss Backrat. Everybody comes out, director comes out, talk about the movie, confirm that it takes place in another universe here in the 1960s, hyper futuristic kind of style. And we'll see what happens, right? But then Kevin Feige says, hold on, before we end, um, we want to announce our directors for the next Avengers movies. Now, the rumor has been, right? We talked about it on the show a couple weeks ago that the Russo brothers were going to come back. This was the confirmation. Russo brothers come out on stage. They are officially directing the next two Avengers movies. And we already know that they're doing Secret Wars, right? That title was confirmed, Avengers Secret Wars. But then they started talking about the other Avengers movie, right? And we all know it was called the Kang Dynasty. But Jonathan Majors is gone. There is no Kang. Are they going to recast? What are they going to do? And I've been saying for a long, long time, I don't think they recast. I think they retitle this movie. Either Secret Wars becomes a two-part thing, but they're going to go another direction. I don't think they want the taint of Kang. And I was right. They confirmed that the next Avengers movie has been retitled, and it's now going to be called Avengers Doomsday. Ooh, it's got a green font. Doomsday. Interesting. Dr. Doom? So they talk about it a little bit, and they say, to get to Secret Wars, we got to do Doomsday. And there's only one guy that can play Dr. Doom. It's got to be the greatest actor in the world. And we went out and we got him. And our Dr. Doom is, and a guy walks up on stage with the mask on, pulls the mask back off, and it's none other than Robert Downey Jr. That's right. RDJ, Tony Stark himself, Iron Man, no longer. New mask, same task. Robert Downey Jr. is going to be playing Doom in both Avengers movies, Doomsday and Secret Wars. Will he pop up in the Fantastic Four movie? Who knows? Maybe. Um, Interesting, man. I mean, crowd went nuts at Comic-Con. This is massive. And we talked about it. We did talk about this on the show last week or the week before, that this was a rumor going around. And I told you when it was a rumor, I said, at first I didn't really care for it, but the more I thought about it, the more I really liked it. And I'm at a point now where I love this. And I've seen, there's a lot of love hate around this announcement. A lot of people love it. A lot of the purists obviously really hate it, right? Like, oh no, that's bullshit. Like we need our own Doom. This is desperate of Marvel to do this, blah, blah, blah. I think it's genius. I think it's awesome, man. How cool is it gonna be when Spider-Man's trying to fight Doctor Doom and that mask comes off and Spider-Man sees his hero? He sees his hero's face in Doctor Doom. How much is that going to fuck up the Avengers when they see Tony Stark's face in their new villain that's effing everybody up? How will they do this? Who knows, man? There's a lot of different ways they can do it because they did announce him at Comic-Con that he will be Victor Von Doom. So how do we go about this? Is he just recast? Is it just going to be a coincidence? He looks a little bit like Robert Downey Jr. I mean, they could always do his hair different, right? He doesn't have to have the facial hair. And maybe you just play it as he's totally different, right? Or it's a multiverse, man. We play it like he is a variant of Tony Stark, but he lived in a different universe and different things happened in his life, right? You could have something as simple as his parents died at a very young age and he was adopted by the Von Dooms and he was raised as Victor Von Doom, right? Like he never was a Stark. And then when he crosses multiverses to take over the whole universe, it's the people that dealt with Tony in their world that's going to be shocked when they see his face. Um, they can do it a lot of different ways, right? It could be a Tony Stark that just jumped to another universe and changed his name to be something different and rule Latveria, and all that good stuff. So who knows how they're going to play it out, but I think it's pretty damn awesome. And I'm super, super excited for this. Avengers Doomsday will hit theaters on May 2026, and Avengers Secret Wars will be a year later in May of 2027. So pretty damn awesome, man. I'm excited. Russo brothers directing, of course, both those movies, and we are ready for it. The new title for Fantastic Four is also called First Steps. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't know why it has to be called the Fantastic Four First Steps. Okay, why? Doesn't make any sense really. Um, Whatever. I don't think it needed a subtitle, but we'll let it be, right? It's supposed to hit theaters in about a year, July 25th, 2025. We also found out that Giancarlo Esposito is playing King of the Serpent Society, Seth Volker, aka Sidewinder, in Captain America Brave New World. So we finally know who he is playing, as he was added to that movie during those reshoots. We also have the new Penguin trailer, and Matt Reeves confirmed that Batman 2 will go into production next year. It's been long delayed, but they're finally moving forward with that. Star Trek Section 31 has dropped its first trailer for the movie starring Michelle Yeoh that over at Comic Con. Also, a new Star Trek series is in the works from Justin Simeon and Tawny Newsome. So that'd be pretty interesting to see what they come up with. Borderlands going to be in theaters on August 9th. So get ready for it. Check out again the new trailer that just dropped for that. I Am Legend 2, Stephen Cable Jr. is in talks to helm the sequel. The Penguin, we get the official release date September 19th over on HBO and HBO Max. Um, and like I said, check out the new trailer. We got to post it up. It is pretty damn awesome. I'm so excited for the Penguin show. I think it looks like a nice gangsta Sopranos type show that's going to be pretty damn cool. Blood of Zeus is set to end with season 3 over at Netflix. Um, the new Star Trek series from Justin Simeon and Tawny Newsome is going to be a live action comedy series in the Star Trek world that's in development for Paramount Plus. Star Trek Starfleet Academy, Robert Picardo and Tig Notaro are going to reprise their Star Trek roles from the Doctor as the Doctor and Jet Reno. Winona Earp, Vengeance. We have the first trailer for that for the reunion movie that they're doing. Family Guy has set Christmas and Halloween specials that will feature Glenn Powell and more. And we have the exclusive 2023 season 23 trailer that they just dropped. My Adventures of Superman is going to introduce Superboy in season 3. Ghost over on CBS season 4 has cast Isaac's faux patience as Sam's absentee father. Brilliant Minds, Zachary Quinto is an unconventional doctor in the new trailer for the NBC drama, so check that out. We talked about that. We got the new poster for Transformers 1, which looks pretty cool there. Um, We got a lot of pictures and stuff from Comic Con up on our Twitter page if you want to check out some more details there. The Russo Brothers studio Agbo is co-producing the Avengers movies, which is a rare partnership with Marvel. And Stephen McFeely, who co-wrote all 4 of the Russo Brothers Marvel movies, is going to be taking over script duties on both Doomsday and Secret Wars. So I love that, man. Bring back the guy that wrote Infinity War and Endgame, and let's do this. I'm so excited for that. Let's see here. Batman Cape Crusader will see Minnie Driver voice a female version of the Penguin. Jay and Silent Bob 3 is officially going to be called Store Wars when that moves forward. Let's see. We talked about that already. FX has picked up Snowflakes, which is a new comedy from the Tonight Show duo and Nick Kroll. Daryl Dixon and Dead City Season 2 trailer previews what's next for AMC's Walking Dead spinoffs. Kevin Smith released the trailer for his newest teen comedy called The 4:30 Movie, which looks pretty cute, man. I liked it. It was pretty cute. Let's see here. Oscars, Jimmy Kimmel and John Mulaney both turned down an offer to host next year's ceremony, so we'll see where that goes. Ty Burrell's comedy pilot Forgive and Forget is not moving forward over at ABC, but what is Tim Allen and Kat Dennings' new comedy called Shifting Gears. That has been given a series order, so that's going to be moving forward. I will watch that just for Kat Dennings. Jesse Williams confirms only Murders in the Building that he's not in the new season. He has exited that show. Netflix's Famous Last Words is a new show they're putting together, which will capture final interviews from cultural icons. Anne Rice's Mayfair Witches Season 2 got a little teaser trailer, and it will premiere officially in 2025. Hulu has announced Tuesday that it will release Fanatical, the catfishing of Tegan and Sarah, which will be a new documentary investigating the 2011 file hacking of musical duo Tegan and Sarah. The feature will hit the streamer in October. James Gunn celebrates rapping on Superman. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Amazon's Bosch Legacy spinoff has added John Carroll Lynch to the cast. Mika Kelly set to star in Netflix's holiday rom-com called Champagne Problems. Sean Levy's 21 Laps Entertainment Group is set to adapt Frida McFadden's best-selling novel Never Lie for Netflix. Seth Meyers is going to be bringing a new comedy special to HBO. Boyd Holbrook is joining the morning show for season 4. That 90s show part 3 release date has been moved up from Netflix. It was supposed to come out in October, but now it's going to come out August 22nd. So if you've been waiting for that, check it out. We also have the first trailer for Slingshot, which is a new sci-fi thriller starring Casey Affleck and Lawrence Fishburne. We have first look photos at Alfonso Cuarón's new Apple TV Plus series with Cate Blanchett called Disclaimer. We have the new trailer for Greedy People, which is a new comedic crime movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Lily James. This movie looks really cute. I had no idea about this film until I watched this trailer today, and it looks pretty damn good. It's going to hit theaters at the end of August. We have the teaser trailer for Spellbound, which is the new star-studded animated musical. We have the trailer for Spaceman, which is J.K. Simmons' new sci-fi fantasy movie. Renegade Nell has been canceled after one season on Disney+. We have a new promo for season 5 of 911 Lone Star. On the new season of Ghost, Jay will finally see the spirits in season 4, which is pretty awesome. It's about damn time. Jason Reitman's movie about the first broadcast of Saturday Night Live has been given an October 11, 2024 release date. They filmed this movie so fast. Like, I remember just talking about casting to this movie a couple months ago, and they're done, and the movie's going to come out in like 3 months. That is insane. The movie's also officially titled Saturday Night. So there you go. Get ready for the October release. And A Quiet Place Day 1, now available to buy for $24.99 or rent it for $19.99 as it has hit premium VOD. So you can go ahead and rent it now. The movie grossed $253.8 million worldwide in theaters over the summer. Great, great movie. And can't wait for it to go on sale so I could buy it for my collection. But I'm not doing that for the $25 price. I will wait till it's down a little bit more. But hey, if you haven't seen it yet, you can now rent it on premium VOD. And on that note, my friends, that is the end of the road. That's the end of our show. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me on this 45-minute quest of the latest and greatest entertainment news. Let's wrap this baby up with some socials. It's amiontheair.com. Make sure you bookmark that official webpage. It's got links to everything you need. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/amiontheair. Follow us on X at amiontheair. You can follow me directly at DXDonMega. Same handles over on Threads. I know a lot of you have moved over there, so make sure you follow us on Threads. And yeah, follow along to all the hotness there. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, subscribe wherever you like, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music. We're on everything. So make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Leave a little thumbs up, sorry, whatever you do. It would really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. We're on all of it. It's simply Am I on the Air? And yeah, man. Lots of good stuff over there. Everything is streaming on the YouTube channel, video, quick thoughts on all the social media. So make sure you follow along, man, wherever you can and support the show. Thank you to our great affiliates at Red Dragons Radio and the Pop Culture Pros. Make sure you follow on Twitter at Red Dragons Radio, all one word, reddragonsradio.com, and at popculture_pros. Thank you guys for always streaming our show on demand. And that'll do it for me on this Tuesday, July the 30th. I really appreciate y'all. And yes, for those of you wondering, we are looking to do the Am I Still on the Air Deadpool and Wolverine spoiler review, getting the gang together. They actually went out to Comic-Con, so, they're just settling back into town. Everybody's working, everybody's getting back to their normal lives. So once we can sync everybody up, we will go live on the YouTubes and we will do the spoiler review. I can't wait to talk about it in great detail. So keep your eyes posted in the next week for that spoiler review. It'll be coming, my friends. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. And until next time, y'all. Peace. Red Dragon!